What would you say differentiates you from the person you're running against? First you, Congresswoman Edwards.
Well, I think that I represent a unique voice in the House, and I will in the United States Senate. And frankly, when it came time to really fight for Social Security and Medicare, my opponent said he was willing to consider cuts under the context of Simpson-Bowles in a budget agreement to Social Security and Medicare. And I stood up against that. And although he's moved his position now, that wasn't his position then. He's, supported 9 of the last 11 trade deals that have come through that have traded jobs away, 70,000 jobs, Maryland manufacturing jobs lost over the last 2 decades. Mr. Van Hollen has shown a willingness to cave to the National Rifle Association in a campaign finance bill that he was supporting. I think it's time that Maryland's middle-class families deserve someone who's a voice just like Senator Mikulski, fighting for the middle class and unwilling to compromise when it comes to our principles.
Mr. Van Hollen.
Well, Kojo, Marylanders deserve the truth, so I'm glad we're having this conversation because Ms. Edwards has not been telling Maryland voters the truth. And I hope we'll go into all these issues, but I've been leading the fight against cuts to Social Security. In fact, the head of the Committee to Preserve Social Security and Medicare has said I've been their savior. I have a 100% rating from the Alliance for Retired Americans. The reality is that the greatest risk for Social Security came a couple years ago in a vote where Ms. Edwards joined the Tea Party to allow us to default on our debts, which she has said herself would put Social Security beneficiaries and Medicare beneficiaries at great risk. She voted with the Tea Party. I voted with Senator Mikulski to make sure we protected it. I have been leading the fight against the NRA, and I'm the only candidate here, only candidate who has taken on the NRA and won, and I'm the only candidate who's introduced bills in Congress to do something about it rather than just talk about it. Ms. Edwards in this race is not running on her record. The Washington Post recently indicated what we all know, which is that her office is, quote, notorious for failing to provide constituent services. Now she's asking to represent more people. She just shut down her office, her constituent office in Anne Arundel County. NASA employees who felt that they'd been discriminated against on pay because of race came to her. She ignored them. Her county executive, Rashawn Baker, has said, I'm the only candidate in this race who can deliver results for Prince George's County. And if you talk to people who live in the area of Prince George's County that we both represented, the mayors of those towns are supporting me in this race. Why is that? Because I help with public safety, with transportation, delivering real results. So it's interesting that Ms. Edwards is not running on her record. A lot of rhetoric, but no results, no record.